Welcome to The Start. If you are starting a business or thinking about making a pivot in your life, you are in the right place. I'm Wahn, I'm your host for today. I hope this show gives you the inspiration to keep showing up. You are not behind, you are not alone. Growth takes time, and your path will get clearer with each step you take. So, let's dive in. It's an honor to have you here. Welcome to the podcast. This is my first time, so glad to have you being my first guest. And
Okay.
first, can you introduce yourself so we could all know who you are, what you do, and yeah, then we will have a little bit of talk after this.
Okay, so my name is Nalinee. My social media is Nalinee Diosara. And I tend to find myself as a conduit, and this expressed into shamanic practices, as well as a painter and a teacher. Yeah, and shamanic practices involve cacao and shamanic sound healing, as well as channeling the guidance of the guides to give people some kind of tool for them to integrate and create change and empowerment in their lives. Yeah.
And I'm Michael. I'm the husband of Nalinee, and we work together. I bring in sounds of didgeridoo and native Indian flute, shakers and drums with our sound. And when we work with cacao, I also do crafts of shaman companions where I make shakers and little feather fans like this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, wow, exciting. And for this podcast, we are actually targeting people who have a different life experience, life journey. And I also would like to dive deep into how are you starting to become a conduit, become a shaman, and in that moment of, transition from how you were programmed to be from the society and transition into um, the passion that you really love. So I want to hear that journey of transition, and I want this podcast to be inspiration for people who are in that journey of self-discovery and want to really start going after their passion or something that they really want to do. So I hope you can share your journey and learning from your experience through that process. So maybe if you can share about where you were before and how do you transition to be who you are now?
Okay, so I was very sad and very depressed child, and that carried on until my adulthood, through teenagers and adulthood. And yeah, I had my art as something to express, something to ground me. And looking back then, that sadness and depressions were just so-called a catalyst of, or a reflection of something that inside of me feeling very different to what many people agree to, which is society, educational system, and the choice of living. And and then I slowly got into teaching art, and that was great up to the point where I felt another calling to kind of go deeper into nature and expand my creativity. And that's when I started to meditate. And when I started to meditate, I met him and all these connection, curiosity with spirituality kind of came up. And we went into the Amazon, and that was the starting point of the so-called a branch of shamanic healing or shamanic practices. And when we came back here, I then carry on my channeling and the calling of looking deeper into the Asian shamanism kind of rooted me, grounded me further into this side of the world. And together with the experience of familiar with depression, familiar with sadness, and being aware, learning to be aware of it, transcending it, also experience with working with plants and experience with channeling and working with drum and voice. It's really melding into what we are doing now, to also help myself and share with others. So long story short, it was a very much of a deep disagreement with what's going on around. And the first question was, how can I live my life? And the answer was acceptance. Then after that, I then realized that acceptance doesn't mean I have to agree, but I then can meet in the middle and have a space to find my passion and to share that. And during transitioning from a teaching job into this full-time, I would say it was a slow process because I was teaching and on the weekend I was channeling part-time for a donation online. And then, up to the point where we just decided to resign and get away from Bangkok and go and connect with lush Amazonian jungle and the wisdom that's shared there. And I realized that I just can't go back to the old full-time setting. Is there fear of lack? Sometimes, but the passion and the love of what we do is stronger. So it's like that vehicle, the passion and the joy and the knowing that this is just who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for my story, since school days, in my younger days, I was bullied a lot, and that's when I realized I didn't want to be part of society or anything like that. So that's why I decided I'm just going to do things that brings me joy. So when school finished, I went into hospitality, and I actually had a strong passion for working in hospitality. And I did that for about 20 years. And then after 20 years, I was like, I think I'm done now. I've taken it as far as I can. And then I met her online, and I was in South Africa and she was in Thailand. And that's where I had to actually make a big choice of quitting everything I'd had in South Africa and moving to Thailand to be with her, which was a big step and was a huge career change as well. Went into teaching, which I'd never done anything like that before, so it was a big change for me. But what kept me going was obviously the feelings I had for her, and I just knew that she was the one, so I just took that big step. and
Oh, so
and
sweet.
I finance didn't even worry me at all. I if When I landed here, I didn't even have a lot of money. Luckily, she helped me a lot, but it all just worked out. And I feel that whatever you're passionate about, you will always make it happen because you are passionate about it. So there will always be a way to move forward if you've got that strong passion.
Yeah. And your paths, both of your paths are so inspiring in a way that you are really have a unique career transition from being a teacher, from being someone who worked in hospitality and transition into a more spirituality with shamanic journey, becoming a conduit. How will you break through the expectation from your family? I'm
Yeah.
sure that when you are starting out, it's probably not easy to tell your family to get their agreement on what you do. So I would be interested to hear more about that.
You want to go
Yeah,
first?
I was lucky with my family. They said to me, as long as I'm happy, they don't worry what I do, as long as I'm happy. So I'm very lucky to have parents like that. But I don't know how. I know it's different in the Asian world.
Yeah. What? Because your question is very applicable to to the Asian culture. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's relevant question. For me, it wasn't easy, especially when I start talking about meditation and when I start talking about energy and sensing and knowing, not just believe, but knowing that there's more to the tangible and the material world. It has its validity. I'm not talking about we move into spirituality and we disregard the material world. No, it's 50-50. It has to be in balance. But in the beginning, there was a fear from my mother, especially because I live with my mother. And she would be asking, are you bringing ghosts to the house? I'm like, why would I need to bring them? But it's just a lack of understanding. And that's one thing that I learned from the Amazonian experience. I had a question. What is it that I can offer to my mother? And the answer was just respect. Respect her path, respect that she might not understand the whole thing, and I do not need to force her to understand. And up until today, what I understand is that she's happy when I have work, and she's happy that my health is more balanced. Because if I continue on ignoring the calling of spirits, my depression, my autoimmune only gets stronger. So I need to come into follow the calling of my soul. And my father, at this point, I feel that the bottom of it all, they just want to see us happy. And they just want to see us that we have food on the table, that we can,
We could support ourselves.
yeah, that we can survive. And that's all they care. At one point, they were asking, yeah, are you starting a cult? I'm like, geez, I'm like a cult leader. No, that's not what we do. What we do is providing space for everyone to cultivate awareness of themselves and to embrace and learn to be more in balance with their emotions and their thoughts. So this is something that we present to the world, something that is approachable. And now we're in a good place, very harmonious flow with the family. It's just at the end, they just want us to be happy and healthy. That's it.
Yeah, beautiful wisdom that you share around. We can respect the difference while we continue to take care of ourselves and, showing them that you are in a good place emotionally, spiritually, financially. So the next point that I want to touch on is what you mentioned around the work that you do. When I know you as a cacao lady. You are pretty much a very first person who introduced that into Bangkok community. Um, I would like to hear more about when you start introducing new things like cacao into Bangkok, where at that time I couldn't remember how many years ago, and it's definitely more than 5 or 6 years ago when you start doing the ceremonies here. I don't even know what cacao is, and I know it through both of you. So, if you could share on when people are still having low awareness around cacao and everything, and you are starting your business from trying to educate people around that. What are the things that you have learned during that time? Something that probably the audience can learn from you if they have a great idea that they want to share into the world that they are in? How can they find that courage in leading a new narrative in their community?
Do you want to go first?
There you go.
Okay. So first is how it's approachable to the scene. We had our experience in the Amazon, and it was a very tough experience, and we got used to the toughness. And I started off with that, and I noticed very soon that very quickly that people in Bangkok, people in the urban city, you need to be gentle. Yes, your work can be powerful and deep, but how you present it, how you hold space, there needs to be the element of gentleness. There needs to be a clear preparation, and there also needs to be a transparency to the people that come to us and say, this is what we do. If this is not what you're looking for, never mind, it's okay. You know, I learned not to force people to sign up, and this is just for the balance of the space, the balance of the client, and for our work. How do I make the narrative approachable? So people in Bangkok, we can use Cacao as an example. So people in Bangkok mostly they will see cacao as cocoa and chocolate. And the question that we often get would be, oh, well, how is it different from chocolate bar? How is it different from cocoa powder? So you will start with the nutritionist and the scientific factor, and then you will present another lens, which is the energetic factor, the spiritual factor, and the ancient story that carry by the indigenous tribes from the Western world. And I have to say this, I wasn't the first one. There are other people already doing it, but perhaps our take is probably the first one with the deep shamanic healing with cacao. So the key is you gotta look at the majority of where people is at, where you are, and how you're going to communicate your service to make it transparency and to make it approachable for people. Did I answer it clear?
Yeah, and I always admired you on the ethical aspect on the work that you do. And you always, when we have a chat, we always talk about the reflection that we have over the journey. And that's truly reflect on how you offer your service at the moment and all the time that you have been offering your service. And the point around, apart from looking at the market, is about being transparent in the work that you do that help sustaining your business and reputation and keeping people to spread word of mouth. I also get to know you through my friend Shireen. She messaged me and she told me, oh, I come across this wonderful space, this wonderful lady called Nalinee. She's Thai. At that time, I was wondering why is a Thai woman offering cacao ceremony in Bangkok, and that's when I start reaching out to you. So your principle of transparency and make it an easier narrative for people definitely work because I get to know you through a recommendation and a referral.
I think with businesses like this and with cacao, because you're going to find a lot of people now are offering cacao as well, and each person is doing it in their own unique way. So when you want to do it, you mustn't have that worry, oh, but this person's doing it this way or that person's doing it that way. You need to focus on your own authenticity, and what's the plant, like what cacao has taught you is how you can teach other people.
Yeah, and that goes to every healing work or every
Any
spiritual
healing
work
modality or any business really.
yeah, or every art kind of field as well. Like you gotta be yourself, and that takes a lot of courage. And being yourself and dare to express you're on taking thing with respect to our ancestors and people before us. It's sustained. You're not going to feel drained, and you not be in competition continuously with other people, even though in the business scene competition is healthy. But when it comes to spiritual work, there's a lot of unseen side of things where our creative energy goes and how it nurtures or how it drains us. And if we wheel our service into more of a competitive wheel, then it's draining more than nurturing.
Yeah, I love the part where you are talking about self-expression, where I also find in myself when I express from the energy that want to be spoken out, it will not feel drained. So I really love that part. I highly resonate with that. I think one of the things that when people want to introduce something new into the market, or let's say when they have this calling of wanting to host ceremonies, like for example, in your case is Cacao. I also know for myself when I was transitioning from corporate employee into wanting to introduce myself fully as a coach, I have this doubt that because I'm also new as a coach, coaching is new for me. So I want to also hear from you when you in that moment of introducing yourself as a conduit or as um, a ceremony space holder, how are you going through that inner self-talk around the doubt that you probably have, if you have any at all?
I would say cacao actually helped me with that because me drinking cacao every day, actually giving thanks to the medicine and using cacao as the medicine, actually changed my inner thoughts to more positive thoughts and more self love. So you actually have that um, drive to push yourself out there.
Yeah, because Michael's lesson was that he didn't feel appreciated,
Yeah.
while my lesson was that the illusion of not being loved. So his lesson of growth is to know that he can be appreciated. And for me, is to know that, yeah, I am loved.
Yeah.
How I there are two things that goes on in my internal process. I grew up as a very insecure child, and the insecurity still resonates in me. Is part of being human, but I have more awareness of that, and I have more recognition towards that in a way that when it comes up, I am able to discern, and if it's very intense, I sit with it. And there is too another side of every project, every services that we are manifesting or materialize. There is a spirit in it. There is an energy in it. So when we feel uncertain, there is also a practice or ways of communicating with that energy, of what is the guidance. So, and this is what spirituality and shamanic practice is about, is that the connection with, yes, I'm human, I'm Nalinee, but there also is a part of me and a part of my service that has a guidance in it, there is a guide. So it's just about surrender that egoic self that is out of balance. Take my time. If it's really intense and confused, then sit with it. And then go back and communicate with the guides, communicate with the dream time in a sleeping space, because that's when the conscious or subconscious connection becomes clear, connecting through meditation. So this is how I flow about in navigating. And the intensity at the moment, sometimes things just doesn't make sense, and you just got to be okay with it. Adaptability is another key.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all an internal process, isn't it? What I'm hearing from Michael is you're going through the inner dialogue through appreciation with support from Cacao Spirit. And what I'm hearing from Nalini is that there is an a force. People are using different terms around the force that is bigger than ourselves, that we have to trust that. And I love the part when you talk about when there is confusion or something that is ungrounded coming up, it's worth taking a space to pause, sit with it, find a way to integrate with that, and utilize that force outside of yourself. When I read different spiritual books, whether it's Buddhism or Christianity or shamanism, in all the books there will be ways to talk about things that outside of our control, and what we can do is doing our best, and whatever that is outside of our control is outside of our control, and we have to trust that when we do our best, what is whatever that is bigger than us is actually taking care of us. So that is my take listening to your journey. Yeah. So that's beautiful. And what would be the things that you want to say to someone who is just starting out?
I would say if your passion is really there and you've got this like, it's almost like having that feeling when you're a 5-year-old child on the morning of Christmas or something like that, and you're gonna go and open those presents. That excitement feeling. If you have that drive to do what you want to do, then you won't have obstacles if you've got that drive, and things will not work out, but there will always be a way if you've got that passion to push forward. Nothing will stop you.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
For me, is another side of the coin. Fear is normal.
Yes.
Obstacles are normal.
Yeah.
You learn to dance with it. I'm not going to say don't force, don't rush. Sometimes there is that calling to put things out, but there is the calling to wait. Let's just pause. And it's all come back to know thyself. It's all come back to know yourself. For me, I really honor what we are able to share, and with that respect and honor, I do my best not to wheel my service into my old egoic desire of being admired, being popular, or being loved. Popularity is just something that comes along and go. But what I'm saying is that when we hold space for healing, there has to be a deep respect to what we do and deep respect to one another. And recently there has been a lot of lesson where I have to take time to contemplate on a few invitations, a few events that it doesn't quite align with the highest vibration and the highest integrity of our service. Yeah, it take I'm gonna reach more people, we're gonna be seen more, but what sustains the most and what's true the most is how this service is presenting and how will it be received. So it's about Michael, what Michael said, that passion, that excitement inside, that's your calling. And then how you go about materializing it, promoting it, finding your market, finding your clients, and taking care of yourself. It's your own pace and it's your own rhythm. To me, the key is the respect of the gift that you have. And this gift can be writing a book, can be doing a podcast, can be coaching, can be anything. But and honor that truly, and use that as, see that as your teacher as well, see that as your healer. What is it healing? What is it transforming within you? So it sustains, so it grows, and you're growing along with it.
And also with the lessons as well, you're gonna get people that would get triggered by what you do as well. And when those people confront you in that, the best thing to do is just stay true to yourself, self-respect, and boundaries. Make sure that you know how to hold your boundaries, because you do get people out there that would try and take advantage of you or try and steal what you're doing. And when those things happen, you can't control that. That's their doings. And the best thing you can do is just stay true to yourself, know how to hold your boundaries, and just keep on that passion of following what you want to do.
Yeah, see what the incident teaching you.
Yeah.
How can you hold your boundaries better? How can you direct your service into the scene that respect your expression and your service more? And I've heard people said how people react to your workshop is out of your control, and I said that's not 100%, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Like safe space is 50-50. We facilitator 50% of safe space. I don't promote 100% safe space. Another 50 is each individual responsibility, and you make that clear, the clearest that we can. So all of this is always, sometimes is truly out of your control, but sometimes, okay, what is it teaching you? Sometimes it's just full act of randomness. You learn to be okay with it. You learn to be more careful, and that's it.
Yeah, because there's going to be mistakes made in your journey.
Yeah.
And instead of diving into depression, oh, I did this wrong, I should have done it this way, I should have done this way, rather just look at the lesson and learn from it, basically. And then you just realize, okay, this is where I went wrong. I acknowledge that. I take responsibility of that, and that won't happen again.
Yeah, and know that you can always ask for help, and that's something that I had to learn. Asking for help and saying, hey, I'm not okay today.
Yeah, what you share are beautiful around, trigger is such a big topic that we wouldn't be able to cover in this podcast today. I think if we want to dive into, handling triggers, it will be a full episode by itself. And I love that you are touching on this topic. I think when whatever we do in the world, it's all about getting triggered. And I love Nalini's sharing on looking at every opportunities as a teacher. When there is trigger, there is something that is teaching us on the lesson that we have to take on it. Excuse me. And another thing that I like is, now I forgot. Another thing that I like when you share around holding space is 50-50 responsibility. I think it's that balance where we are not giving up our full power into the circumstances that is happening and saying that it's out of our control. It's all about finding balance and remaining open to the feedback that people are giving us, and be able to remain neutral. And in Buddha teaching, there is always a teaching around we have to be able to find the power in our critical thinking, like not overthinking things, but we have to see it through. We have to be able to, receive it and be able to discern it. So I think the word discernment and continue to looking at the world from a perspective of constant learning every day. That is definitely going to support a lot of people in that journey. And yeah, I also like Michael when you share about we will keep on making mistakes. It's part of our learning, right? I think it's part of everybody learning to grow and learn to the mistake. So, if there are the three last words that you want to share to the listener who come across and want to start something new, what would be the three words that they can take out from today?
Take the bull by the horns.
Take the bull by the horns. Can you explain that? What it means?
So it says take your ideas and run with them, and
Yeah.
don't worry about what the outcome is going to be. You just do it without any expectations. As long as your passion's there, you'll love what you're doing, and you want to turn it into a career, just do it. Because we are not trees. We're not rooted where, like a tree, you're stuck, you can't move. We've got legs and we've got drives, we've got passions to move forward. And I do feel that it's everyone's own responsibility to create their own happiness. You know? And if you're not happy in a job that you're doing, find your passion and follow that. You don't have to be stuck in a job that you don't like. There's so many opportunities in this world.
So your three words is
Yeah.
take action, responsibility, and passion.
Yeah.
Thank you for summarizing that.
Yeah.
And what about you, Nalini? What would be the last three words?
You just gotta look inside. You just gotta look inside, and it might. Yeah. So look inside. I guess that's two words. And know thyself. Well, that's four words now.
Yeah.
Yeah, look inside, know thyself, heal thyself. That's it. That's why we here. That's why we
Take
here.
action, know thyself, look inside, and follow your passion. That would be my take for today. And I know that you both has a gift for
Yeah.
our listener. Before we jump into our gift, maybe can you also share to us more what is the next exciting things that is happening in your journey? What will what are the things that you want to focus on doing right now so that listener can go and follow your work and know what is coming up recently?
Well, I make these little feathers and I do shamanic shakers. So if anyone wants to order, you can go to Shaman Companions on IG, or you can go to Happy MacDougall.
That's your page.
That's my page on IG.
Yeah, so for us, it's our dedication to offer cacao shamanic healing at least once a month in Bangkok. So you can really follow us on that on my social media, Nalinee Diosara. And I also offer from time to time free transmission on YouTube, the same name. And on my personal projects, painting and also private channeling sessions.
We can
And
also do
that's it.
private cacao as well.
Yeah,
so if anyone
upon
doesn't want to join
request.
a group cacao ceremony, we do privates online as well as in person as well in Bangkok.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And can you share a bit more about your gift? And then we will go into your gift and we will wrap up our podcast.
Okay, so because as we know that things just get more intense every year, so I just want to offer just a little space of coming back into a more neutral state of being, which is just a little guided meditation. Okay, so I'll go ahead, So just inviting you all to come back into your seat, meaning ease your body, adjust your body into a comfortable position. take a moment to feel your feet, feel where your tailbone is, where your back is touching. Close your eyes. And as we close our eyes, we take it as an invitation to bring our attention and focus away from the thinking mind into inhale and exhale. And know that it's okay if thoughts popping up. The key is not to try to stop thinking, but to separate the focus away from thoughts and down into the air that enters your body, and exhale the air that exits your body. In your next round of breath, again checking into your feet. If your feet are touching the floor, just feel how your feet is kissing earth. The next round of breath, allow your focus to flow upwards through your ankles, your legs, knees, thighs, and hips, and meeting at the tailbone. And just feel your contact with your seat. And in your next round of breath, see if you can just ease your body weight deeper into Earth's magnetic force. Now, flowing the focus upwards to the lower abdomen and the lower back. Inhale, the lower abdomen expand. Exhale, contract gently. Just slowly feel each breath expanding and contracting, massaging your lower back as well. Next breath, bringing your focus upwards to your stomach, the midsection of your back. Use your breath, flowing upwards to your diaphragm, your lungs and your chest. See if you can inhale and allow both lungs to expand left and right. Exhale and drop your body deeper into earth. Flowing up to the shoulders through your breath, gently. Flowing down through both of your arms. Flowing down your focus through both of your hands, palms and fingertips. And the next breath, see if you can ease deeper both hands and arms down to earth. Just relax. Next breath, checking in with your neck, your throat. Checking in with your face. Relax your jaws. eyelids, eyebrow, feeling the energy of your forehead to the top of your head, your crown, your hair, down to your hair, both ears. Just feel them. And next breath, sink your focus inwards into the center of your chest, the center of your universe, the center of your reality. And if you will, place your hands on the center of your chest as a reminder of returning home into your heart. Welcome the darkness behind your eyelids, symbolizing the vast space inside your chest. And just feel the pulsation of your heart. Feel what's needed to be felt there. Feel it as it is. No need to judge bad or good. Maintain your focus in a state of feeling. For feeling is knowing. For feeling is understanding. And here, you can begin to ask, what is this teaching you? Is it teaching you just to let it be, let it pass? Is it teaching you to take action? Or simply to welcome compassion, just love for you being you in this moment? If there's worries towards the world, if there's fear towards the unknown of the future, or anything that cannot be undone in the past, it's okay. Just embrace this moment. And feel the energy of your heart flowing upwards to your head. Allow that love, that being present in the heart, to guide the mind. Feel your feet through your next breath. Feel how earth is supporting you. You're not alone. You can take a moment to feel the sky above from your heart. And when you're ready, just take the next deep breath. And out. Release. And slowly open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you both for today.
Thank you.
I would love to connect with you. And it would also mean a lot to me if you could share it with a friend or leave a review on the episode. A little bit about me. I'm a trauma-informed life coach with 16 years of experience in the corporate world and 8 years as a coach. I have been helping business owners and executives tap into real confidence and make clearer decisions. And if you are in the season of change and want a personal light touch, feel free to reach out about my one-on-one coaching program. I'm always happy to connect with you. And come back for a new episode next week. And until then, keep being kind to yourself.